outskirts of the city. I personally enjoyed living in a rural area, as I found it more peaceful than living in the city, where it was often congested with hordes of pedestrians roaming the streets. The area where I resided was made up of crop fields and farmland, not the commonly seen infrastructure I was used to seeing in the city. It was nothing but just farm animals and broad landscapes glistening within the horizon. I usually was in the city for the latter part of my day, as I was a full-time Uber driver that worked close to 12 hours a day. I personally didn't like the job a whole lot, but unfortunately I didn't have much of a choice, as I needed to help my parents pay off their mortgage that was lingering over their shoulders for the last decade or so. I wasn't much of a people person, so I would always drive in silence or casually have the radio playing in the background, just to ease the subtle awkwardness of a complete stranger sitting in the passenger side next to me. I remember on this one particular night, I was heading home from a long shift of driving a bunch of drunk college students around the city, considering it was the weekend. The time was around 2 or 3 in the morning, when I was driving through the back ends of the countryside, as it was usually the quickest route to get home. It was generally recommended not to take this direction during these times, as there wasn't many streetlights around, just tall crop fields and one gloomy road ahead. What the hell was that? I remember getting out of my car and slowly approaching the front bumper just to see what the hell collided with my vehicle. I can recall seeing a deer's body laying lifelessly on the dirt road. It was almost as if the sudden impact from my car had completely obliterated the deer's physical frame into a bloody matter of guts and organs scattered all over the ground. The deer was surprisingly still alive, as I could hear it wheezing in agony while its legs began twitching from the initial shock of the collision. I legitimately felt sick to my stomach and immediately went inside my car. I didn't know if calling 911 would be the wisest decision, considering I was young and naive. I was honestly convinced that there was a possibility that I could go to jail. That's when I ultimately decided to take matters into my own hands, as I grabbed a pair of latex gloves from the glove compartment of my car. I put them on and held the deer by its legs, while manually dragging the dead carcass off to the side of the road. I began hearing police sirens coming from a distance. That's when the paranoia began settling inside my head, as I thought someone from afar had called the cops on me. I then went inside my vehicle and began to drive off, not caring if my car had further trampled whatever life was remaining within that deer. It's just a deer. It's just a deer. Don't worry, it's just a deer. It's definitely not a hit and run. I just made an honest mistake. How the hell could it be my fault if there's no goddamn streetlights? I eventually make it home and pulled into my driveway, as I decided to clean the remaining blood residue lingering on the hood of my car. I didn't want to raise any suspicion from any onlooking neighbors, so I decided to park my car inside my garage so I could hose my car without the feeling of being watched. After several minutes of intense cleaning, I decided to quietly approach my washroom without waking up my parents. I began to fill my bathtub up with warm water, as the idea of soaking for an hour or two wouldn't hurt my chances of calming my nerves down. The next couple shifts, I was able to get back on the horse as I conducted business as usual. I honestly swept the entire deer occurrence under the rug, as I needed to get on with my life and not latch on to a simple mistake that inevitably would have happened. I decided to take an entirely alternate route and not the dark back roads when heading home. I couldn't run the risk of hitting another deer, as the guilt from the first deer still tears me to shreds internally. I remember this one night, I worked the usual graveyard hours when I picked up this one girl near a busy location in the city. She surprisingly lived in the direction of where I resided, so I figured dropping her off was a bargain one couldn't refuse. As we made our way home, I remember looking at my rearview mirror and seeing a rotting deer's head carcass laying on the back seat of my car. That's when I slammed my foot on the gas pedal and began jetting through the freeway as the Uber customer yelled,
"What the hell are you doing? Sir, can you please pull over? I want to get out." "Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop it! Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Let me out of your car, you freak!"
That's when I abruptly swerved my car in the direction of the back roads where I had initially killed the deer. I gradually accelerated my vehicle through the field of crops and trees, while simultaneously contemplating if I was hallucinating or if my brain was playing sadistic tricks on me. I then casually drew my attention towards the passenger, and I could visibly see the woman's head turn into a deer's. It's just a deer. It's just a deer. Don't worry, it's just a deer. It's definitely not a hit and run. I just made an honest mistake.